Hi guys, it's Matthew and welcome back to another episode of 90-second Arduino tutorials. For today's episode, we're going to be having a joystick control 2 servo motors. So what you will need for this project is one joystick right here, 2 servo motors right here and right here, a breadboard, and then one Arduino Uno board. So first, what we need to do is we need to hook up this joystick. So on the left side, we have the ground, and this blue wire is going to go into the ground port on the breadboard that connects to the Arduino board. Then we have the 5 volt, and this also goes into the power rail on the breadboard right over here. And this power rail is connected to the 5 volt on the Arduino board. And then we have our two controllers here, which are the X and then the Y. And these both go into analog pins on the Arduino board. Okay, so now we have to set up 2 servo motors, which is fairly easy. So what we have to do first is the red in the middle goes into the power on the breadboard. Then we have the brown on the side, which goes into the ground on the Arduino board. And then last, the orange right here goes into a digital pin on the Arduino board, as shown over here. That's one servo motor, and then the second servo motor is exactly the same, except you just have to change up the digital pin. And that is why on our breadboard we have a kind of like a jumble of wires here, is because we have a lot of components plugging into the ground and power rails on the breadboard. Okay, so now moving on to our code. Over here, we first need to include our library, our servo motor library called servo.h. Then we define our servos as servo 1 and servo 2 through the library commands. Then we have to have our 3 variables, our value, which is going to be like our goal, and then our X and then our Y, which defines the analog pins that we picked on our Arduino board. For our setup, we just have 2 things, the servo motors that we need to attach to the digital pins that we chose on our Arduino board. And then for the loop, we have to have a analog read, the value, equals an analog read X, which reads the X pin. This is for the joystick, by the way. Then we have to have map the parameters of our joystick, as shown in the map command, and then we write the value, and that's going to be for servo 1. And then for value 2, or for the second value, we need to read the analog read the Y pin, and then we have the map as well, set the parameters, and then we have servo 2 write the value, which is the Y pin. So servo 1 is going to be covering the X coordinates, and servo 2 is going to be covering the Y coordinates. So now, when I plug this in, we're going to have our X right here, as it moves from side to side on the servo motor, and then our Y. And we can also move them both at the same time by pushing it to the corner. Alright guys, that's it for today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next video.